The following is a transcript of a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am. 13th of May, 2021. Music. Me. Music master. I am the most fundamental of the arts. Me. Why is music so important to everyone? What makes it so appreciated, valued? I am. We can look at it from many points of view, so let's start from the same place we talked about colors. Vibration, the origin of all things. Me. Sure, if the universe is vibration and all energy arises from vibration, of course, the universe is music. I am. But understanding music as that which you hear on a radio or on your phone or at a concert differs quite a bit from what is universal music, which is more related to mathematical patterns than sound. Me. Oh no, mathematics. I am. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. As we have once said, the sacred trinity of music is composed of rhythm, harmony, and melody. To understand all three is to understand the logic of the universe. Me. Define rhythm. I am. It comes from the Greek rein, which means to flow. The universe is a constant flow, like an ocean, full of positive and negative currents that follow one another consecutively, which in their interaction change the way of circulation, making their waves modify, creating different levels of resonance, waves of vibration, ordered in different frequencies of time, which in their repetition acquire the idea of being repetitions of flow, what you call rhythmos, that is, rhythm. Me. Like what we talked about yesterday about wavelength, where the body of the whole wave is the vibration, and the time it takes for each concave and convex curvature to repeat itself is what is called frequency. So those repetitions are called rhythm. I am. Exactly. That rhythm flows between space and time in the universal constant, and the same rhythm maintains the coherence between the different speeds and repetitions, which you know as harmony. Me. What is harmony? I am. It comes from the Greek harmonia and means agreement, concordance. Since its root harmos means to put together or to harmonize or to connect, the universal idea of harmony is not directly related to music, but to the conglomerate of different frequencies and vibrations that are ordered among them without collapsing, articulating. And those parts that come together are known as melody. Me. The melody is the parts. I am. It comes from the Indo-European and Greek melos, which means parts or units. On a universal level, each aspect, each vibration that comes together is a part, a unit of time and space that makes up everything, or makes up something, giving meaning. Melody is what conveys the sense of that harmonic unity throughout the rhythm. To melos was added the Indo-European word or, to speak or to say, which derived in the Greek aida, meaning to sing. The meaning is to speak with body parts, to sound in units. Me. Let me see if it is clear. Rhythm is the constant flow in which patterns of vibration and frequency, or space and time respectively, are repeated, in which each of those repetitions are combined with each other, articulating in coherence and order. That is harmony, so that then the parts obtain a logical meaning that can be transmitted by means of melody. I am. That is right. In music, melody is the abstract sense, the subjective. It is the feeling, the information that comes to us and with which we relate humanly, because it is what we can relate to, like stories, emotions, thoughts, and intentions, while harmony and rhythm are an objective and structural part of the music. They are the least perceived by the conscious listener, but they are the key for the brain to love the song. Me. Why? I am. Because the brain is dedicated to administering data in the forms of pulses, and it only understands beauty through those electrical pulses. Thus, rhythm is how information is registered in our neural network, and harmony is what allows that information to be interpreted as positive for development, since something disharmonious could be interpreted as a threat to homeostasis, the balance of internal systems. Me. So the subject can only enjoy the melody as long as the brain is comfortable with the harmony and rhythm. I am. That's right. Basically, for the brain, as for the universe, music is mathematics. So if I say 2 times 2 equals 5, there is a part of the brain that will feel uncomfortable because no matter how much I do it on purpose, the brain interprets that there is an error according to all the previous accumulated data. The same happens when a musical measure in which is said 1, 2, 3, 4, and before finishing saying the 4, the first sound begins. The numbering was marking the rhythm. If an instrument began on 3 or 5, the song would sound disharmonic, chaotic. Therefore, the pulses in the universe are ordered geometrically and mathematically, which develops the so-called metric and tempo. Just as in architecture, music needs a blueprint on which to develop the pillars of sound. Whether in a binary or ternary form, these pulses of sound and silence in a repetitive constant are foundations of melodic sound, like the foundation for a home. Me. And what we hear is basically mathematics. I am. The human ear is trained to hear a frequency between 20 and 20,000 hertz. That is, the number of times something can vibrate per second. These hertz are the ones that determine the sound scales in musical terms, creating the structure of repetitions within which the most used is the diatonic scale, diatonos, meaning beyond extension, which divides the notes into 2 groups, major and minor, within what we call the octave. The measurement of the hertz in this scale is given by the multiplication of these hertz or repetitions by 2. That is to say, that a note vibrating at 110 hertz will fulfill its scale cycle in 220 hertz, and the following one will be in 440 hertz, and so on to 880 hertz, and so on. Me. It's all numbers, repetitions, multiplications. I am. And it is those multiplications that generate the variation of what resonates, creating harmonics along a rhythm. It is the metric that allows objects to vibrate in order, which for the brain is a pleasure. Me. I understand. I am. Many animals made use of these vibrational capabilities in order to attract each other. In the constant search to find the other part, to reproduce, to find balance, energy, some insects and animals of all kinds discovered that the best way to attract each other and unite in space, in case they were not seen by their colors or during the night, was to listen to each other. Using the sound they could emit with their throats, with their mouths and beaks, with their feet and palms, feathers or noses, they developed the phonatory apparatus, creating resonance boxes and vocal cords capable of attracting attention, protecting themselves, and attracting their own. Me. Then the birds sang. I am. And humans imitated their sounds. Humans began to emulate nature, imitating all the noises, sounds and songs of other animals and the elements, making them concepts, and thus words, verbs, and using vibration as a method of transmitting information. The sounds that in the first place were screams or grunts like that attracted attention became harmonics in a kind of sung speech. Thus, songs were like the key to unity, ceremony, tradition. Me. Sound united us from the beginning of time. I am enriching the soul. The words, the songs emerged from the thought, which was carried to the heart and propelled by the air from the lungs, from the chest. The energy of thought, the soul, was called by the Greeks menos, coming from the Indo-European men, to think, to know. The word was deformed to mon in European languages, which described the concept of thought of the soul spoken as mon awa, and from there to muswa. This is the origin of the word musa, meaning elevated thought. The muses were the divinities that inspired humans, the spirits that encouraged them to find the arts, grace and beauty in existence, that elevated them to another state of consciousness, awaking new ideas and thoughts. Me. The muses inspire us. They were not beings existing in themselves, but ideas, spirits that manifested themselves in our inner capacities. I am. When in Greek you refer to those things related to something, you add the suffix ike or ikos. So in Greece, the idea of those souls and spirits that are related to the thoughts that inspire our minds was coined, translated as musike, origin of the word music. Me. Oh, so music itself is not related to sound, but to everything that inspires us. I am. Music is the door to all ideas, thoughts, emotions, needs, beliefs. It is the vocabulary of the spirit speaking to the soul and communicating to the body. The development of music from the original times was related to all areas of life, not only to the artistic, but to survival, to construction, to strategy, to sowing and cultivation, to ceremonies, to politics. Everything was a chant. Me. It reminds me of the natives of Australia who talked to the universe through songs. I am. Yes, and as all the natives did. In the Paleolithic, imitating nature, using objects from the environment to make percussion, which led them in the Neolithic to build the first instruments. In both periods, music was directly related to life and action, and therefore generating songs and music invited to life. Shells, drums, strings were developed towards the end of this period. Up to this time, the scale was in the rhythm of fifths, repetitions of 5 notes, while entering the time of Egypt and Mesopotamia, the scale of 7 notes began to be used with more complex instruments, which gave rise to the Greek development of the zither, the lyre, the flute, the cymbal, the sistrum. Similar forms accompanied throughout Asia, while in the Americas would continue with flutes and drums. In the Mediterranean, the expansions of empires and mixtures of cultures built new styles, developing religious music, sacred music, and instruments such as the organ, the guitar, and later the piano. As in the periods of pictorial art, music accompanied humour in a development, reaching the exceptional point with classical music, which had its birth in the Baroque period and its greatest developments towards the 18th century. Entering our times, music became popularized in Romanticism and then in contemporary music, which brought more popular and mechanical and industrial music. Avant-gardism, simplism, electronics, and the dozens of styles that emerged in globalization were shaping people. Music awakened ideas, revolutions, philosophies, drastic changes, wars, loves, passions, because music is the inspiration of the universe made melody. It is the cosmic object made universal subject. Me. That is to say, we are music. If we are the spirit living its own creation, we are composers singing its music in a huge symphony in the orchestra of creation. I am. Therefore, you must dare to discover your music. The music you listen to, the sounds that come to you, the sounds that arise from you, the sounds that you can create with your body or with instruments are a vehicle of the state of your vibration, of your energy flow, of understanding how the parts combine within you. You must listen attentively to the music you like beyond the melody to understand what your brain looks for in them, the order they propitiate, According to the emotions they awaken you. The notes of the music are your chakras. The sounds they emit are your emotions. And the songs are your rich inner world. So I give you a challenge. Me. Which one? I am. The moment you feel ready, create your song, your own song. If you were a song, what would you sound like? Me. Oh, I am. Sound inside you. Narrate your story and your emotions, your thoughts and your wills, your loves and your pains, your battles and your victories, your peace and your anguish, joy and sadness, relationships and loneliness. Tell your story in the form of music. Hum it, write it, play it. Release the strength of your soul by singing to the world who you are. Me. I am the spiritual inspiration living the melody of life. I am. Sing and let the universe know you exist. I am rhythm. Me. I am harmony. I am melody. Me. I am music.